and welcome to this podcast. Today, we want to talk about the issue of hate. Now, you realize that there are many people out there who hate you, not for any reason, not that because you have done anything bad to them, or that there is a valid reason why they ought to hate you. But you find that there are people out there who don't want to see you. Now, I've been trying to understand why people hate each other. And this video is actually inspired by true experience. It is something that I went through, and as I was trying to understand what was happening, then I felt that it can be better if I can share the experience and even the knowledge as I was reading through to find out why some of these things happen. And one of the things that I have found out is that people will hate each other because of who they are and not because of the things that you do. Or maybe subconsciously, they hate you out of their own weakness. So a person will hate you because they are unhappy with you, or because whatever they do does not give them the recognition that they deserve, or probably you get more recognized than they are. Whatever they do does not give them enough recognition, and therefore they don't become recognized. And this becomes very painful to them. And therefore, they seek to destroy you. They seek to eliminate you as a threat. They seek to want to bring you down so that they can shine. And this is what I have found out. These people intend to achieve success, and yet the success is not coming because of one thing or another. And maybe you are better than them. Maybe the way you think, the way you talk, the way you relate with other people, you probably even walk. Some people will just hate you for some of those things, even the way you dress. There is someone who probably feel that you dress better than they do, and maybe you earn the same level of salary, or you work at the same job group, but they still feel that they ought to be more recognized than you are. Now, what you realize is that at the extreme end of hate is actually love. Hate is at the extreme end of love, because there are people who will start by loving you, and then along the way they will just hate you. Hate can also breed violence. Even in family situations, you find people are fighting because of hate. Yeah, maybe a husband hates the wife hates the husband, family members hate each other. There are people who don't see eye to eye, and therefore you find that they end up with violence. Hate is actually an attitude. It's a syndrome. It can be a mental syndrome. It can be something that has to do with anger. For instance, the person whom I had gone to see and who actually decided not to see me is actually angry because they feel that all that they are entitled to achieve, they are not achieving. And probably they feel that maybe, or I'm one of the people who have made them not achieve what they have not achieved. So, hate is an issue of anger. It is an issue of judgment. People judging you for who you are, for what you do, for the way you speak, for the way you talk, for how you relate with other people, and they are not able to do the same. And this causes them a lot of pain. And the way that they can only compensate for that pain is actually through hate. So hate is also be driven by fear. Yeah, there are people who actually fear so much that they hate you and even other objects for no apparent reason. So how do you know that people hate you? Now, one of the things that will make you know that someone hates you is because they are full of complaining. They'll always be complaining of acts of omission or commission. They will have a negative behavior towards you. For example, I remember there was this guy who would not even greet you with their hands because they don't like you. You know, they look at you and they feel you don't deserve their love, so they don't want to be associated with you, and that therefore they exhibit negative behavior towards you. And the other thing is that they are like I likely to, if for example it's someone whom you are friends with, the patronage will actually cease. So you find that they don't want to relate with you anymore. These are things that you can tell are actually being bred by hate. Scholars cannot exactly tell at what point does hate begin. Yes, they know that there is an issue of hate, but at what point does hate begin? So, according to one scholar that I found out called Zaramtera, they are saying that they would actually suggest that scholars conduct a longitudinal study in which they observe people and see when actually they can be able to detect when hate begins. So how then do you deal with a person who hates you? Because these are really things that happen. They always happen to you. They always happen to us. Probably you also hate someone. Maybe I can also find myself hating someone, or someone will even hate me. There are some things that you can do to overcome hate. One of the things that you can do is that you can talk to that person. If you feel that you do not like them, you can always talk to them. You can always find a way to talk about it, the things that you do not like, and maybe come to a closure. Of course, it's not easy. It's not a very easy thing to do when you are actually opposed to another person. You might find that you don't want to talk to them, but if you are aware that probably you hated someone and you want to address that issue, then you can always talk to them. Now, the other thing is that you can always try and seek inner peace. Inner peace can help you to overcome hate. You know, if you felt that you hated someone, you can be calm and try and address that issue by seeking for inner peace, and keeping away the hateful thoughts that want you to hate other people. Now, the other thing that you can also do is that you can be empathetic. Put yourself into the shoes of those people whom you feel that you do not want to see. When you have shown them negative behavior, when you have spoken to them rudely, when you engage in acts that are likely to injure them in one way or another, to injure their ego as persons, you can just put yourself into their shoes and realize that whatever you are doing is not very positive, and therefore, once you do that, you can always overcome hate. Of course, I'm not saying that it is an instant coffee kind of an act, but of course, it's something that you can actually do. Now, if you are the one who has been hated, how would you overcome the hater? Maybe you can ignore them. They hate you. They don't want to see you. They talk rudely about you. They say negative things about you. They don't like you. Then you can always say that, or you can always ignore them, as if they do not exist. Of course, the reverse would be that if they are hating you and you are turning out to be much more better than they are, they might want to exacerbate the hate. And maybe this is something that you need to also be on the lookout for. If a person is hating you, you can always be on the higher level. And being on the higher level means that they showed you hate and you did not respond. Now, that way, they are likely going to feel that their hate is not working for them, really. And for that reason, they might want to reduce the level of hate towards you. again, because people will hate you for who you are, then you can always try and seek to be you. Just be you, be who you are. Continue doing the things you do. Yeah, speak the way you speak, act the way you act, talk the way you talk, do the things you do, think the way you think. Be you, because I don't think, again, people can change you by hating you. So if you want to do better, you can just continue being you. And then again, you can always accept it. Yeah. So what? You hate me. So what? What are you going to do to me? I mean, how are you going to change me? And that way, then you actually emerge the winner. And rather than letting the hate it into you, you become a better person. Yeah, that is it. I think I like it. So that person who hates me, or who hates you, has nothing against me. I mean, I'm not losing anything. I remain to be me. I remain to be who I am. I continue to talk the way I talk. I dress the way I dress. I think the way I think, and I remain to be me. Thank you for watching. And